Oh yeah.
Said I've been up and I've been down.
I've always lived a life fantastic.
Said I've been played and I've played around.
I always landed on my feet.
There have been bumps along the way,
but I had to take my chances.
And other times were not so great,
but you were standing there to grace me.
With open arms you would catch me.
And I would fall.
And with the same arms you would love me. Yeah.
Whenever I call.
Always there to forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me. Sometimes the stakes seem so high,
we're going deeper,
and the lows felt much lower.
You were afraid, it ain't no secret.
No grace from any man.
Why don't you quit while you can still quit?
And then you say, come take my hand.
That wasn't me, it was something holy.
With open arms you would catch me.
If ever I fall.
And with the same arms you would love me. Forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me.
Whenever I
say it again. With open arms you would catch me.
If ever I fall.
And with the same arms you would love me. Yeah.
Whenever I call.
Always there to forgive me.
If ever I fall.
Standing at the ready to receive me.
What I was made of. Disappointment or disapproval from the heavens, only thing I'm afraid of. I'm the nuisance child, grew up in the lowest tax bracket percentile with loud. So of course I'm bitter, got recourse for them hecklers who try to modify me. But if you can't control these streets, how can you gather me?
With open arms you would catch me. And with the same arms you would love me. Yeah.
Same arms you will love me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Always there to forgive me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Standing at the ready to receive me.
Say it again, say it again, say it again. Oh yeah.
And with the same arms you will love me.
Come on,
always there to forgive me.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning into the Mad Church Disease podcast. Thank you all so very much. Shout out to all of you that are here. Please make sure that you do hit the like button. I am trying some new colors today on the scroll bar and on some of the stuff that we've got. I've tried to make a couple of adjustments to a couple of things, so I'm hoping that you guys like it. Shout out to all of the members and subscribers to the channel. Shout out to all of you that support the Mad Church Disease podcast. I really do appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. And good evening to you. Good evening to you from sunny Southern California. Yes, and we still on fire. No need for you to ask. Oh, y'all know I'm crazy. So there ain't no need of you even asking if we on fire. Yes, we're still on fire. Okay. But bottom line, we're moving right along. Shout out to all of you that are here tonight. We're just going to have a quick discussion. I've been wanting to have a discussion about this for quite some time. What up to St. James? What up to all of you that are in the chat here? I just wanted to acknowledge those of you that are see. Shout out to Jesus Gonzalez. Good to see you. Betty Yellick. Always good to see you, Betty. Angela Smith. Good to see you. Patsy Brown. Yes, Patsy, good to see you. Alex Corbin. Alex is already asking for grace for the bishop. Lord have mercy. Alita, good to see you here. Moni, no love. Just being me, good to see you here as well. Alex says he can't take the title. Lord have mercy. Well, hang on, Alex. Kelly Hayes, thank you so very much. Princess, good to see you here. ATL is in the house. All right. So it's good to see all of you guys that are here on tonight. I'm actually going to be getting into this subject, and we're going to actually be taking a look at some video here in a little while. But I just really wanted to come on tonight and talk to you guys a little bit about this never ending project, because I don't know who I was talking to today, but because so many of you will reach out to me throughout the course of the day, sometimes I'm forgetting who I've talked to. But we were talking about building projects and something came up about Marvin Winans and this building project. And I thought to myself, and the person reminded me that I had done a video about this so long ago. And I was like, man, and he's still trying to build it, and he's still trying to do it. And this is literally, for this man, has literally been a 20-year project. And we're going to go over some video, and we're going to see some video of this here in a little while. But I just want you guys to understand this has been a very long process for Bishop Marvin Winans and the Perfecting Church family. And so we're definitely going to talk about that and definitely take a look at it. So good evening to everybody. Good evening to everybody that is here. Charmaine, good to see you as well. And I know that there are going to be many Perfecting Church family members who come by this video. And some of you may get a little perturbed with me, and you may not understand this kind of a conversation because you're not used to people having these types of conversations. So the first thing that I'll tell you is to kind of, relax, don't get in your feelings too much. Understand that we're just having a conversation. You may not like some of the things that are said, but we are still yet having a conversation, and you're more than welcome to enter into that conversation with us. Shout out to all of you that are subscribing to the channel tonight. I want to thank you so very much for that. Just as some announcements here. If you're looking for email addresses, if you're looking to join the membership, if you're looking for all of those things are listed for you in the description below. And if you wanted to find out the name of the song that is also played before we come live, all of that information is now in the description below. So you don't have to ask anymore. I can just refer you now to the description below. Thank God. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I know a lot of people be asking me a lot of stuff when it comes to that stuff. Now, understand something. This content is not intended to be malicious or defaming in any way. We are simply having a conversation conversation, and we want to have a good conversation on tonight. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. I was just reading an article just now. I don't know whether or not, and I talk a lot about this, and I've been talking a lot about this in the last couple of days. I talked to you guys about Don Lemon's YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is exploding. He's doing very well on YouTube, and he refers to going back to work in a traditional setting called legacy media or whatever. But here's another thing. Apparently, I guess Don has been in behind the scenes trying to work out a deal where he can actually get back on television, etc. I didn't know until his live today. He actually, I guess he purchased a studio for his 5 o'clock program. So he actually has built out an entire studio where he can go in and film just like he could do like on CNN and those other places. So he actually has that, and he spent a lot of money for it. And so I guess I saw an interview with him earlier today, and he was saying that he wished he didn't spend that amount of money on that studio. So because all of his followers are telling him they prefer him just being at his house and just doing all of his stuff from where he's at, and doing karaoke and stuff with his spouse and so forth. So a lot of his folks are liking the just the regular kind of posts from Don. And so Don, I guess, is a little caught off guard by that. And so, but yeah, he's doing really well with his podcast and so forth. So if you haven't seen Don Lemon, he's an independent like me. But yeah, Don is having a great time. Yes, Moni. He's like CNN who. His interviews, he's Don Lemon Unleashed. I have to tell you, he is Don Lemon Unleashed. And so hello and shout out to all of you over there on Facebook. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in. Please make sure that you hit the like button and give me some hearts over there, Darrell. I would really appreciate it. And you guys can send stars, of course, to support the show as well. So I appreciate that over there on Facebook. Hey, Facebook family, we love and appreciate you guys as well. Now, for those of you that are off in the bushes, we appreciate you guys hitting the like button, of course, because we got a long road to carry. I'm gonna show you guys some video inside of Perfecting Church, their current church that they have now, in the middle of a service. And we're going to take a look at something because I want you to, check something out. And we're going to have the discussion. Now, I don't know whether or not you guys have ever been in a building project before. I've only really been, a real building project is one. I think the other building project that I was in was fraud. And this is my opinion. And that's with Clarence McClendon. We had a project called Every Man Take a Beam. And we had these little beams that we would move from one side of the church to the other side of the church. I believe every beam was like $1,000. So every time one beam was moved over. And so we made a big process every Sunday of moving these beams from one side of the church to the other side of the church. And Clarence and my Aunt Georgia, she bought beams. She was buying beams. Now, my Aunt Georgia, I laugh when I think about this stuff now. My Aunt Georgia worked for Boeing, which was a Hughes aircraft when she first started working there, which then turned into Boeing. She had top security clearance or whatever. And so she was always moving beams. She was trying to help Clarence and then build his church. And one Sunday morning, I wrote a check to the ministry, and it was a substantial check. And I remember my auntie getting so mad at me, and she got mad at me because she felt like I really couldn't afford to write the check, which I really couldn't afford to write the check. She was right. And so she was like, you shouldn't be giving that kind of money, blah, 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 but I was, trying to help the kingdom, and help the stuff get moved as well. And, she had a top secret pass to Boeing, and I had a top secret pass to the soup plantation. I shouldn't have been writing no check and, giving that type of money that I was giving back then, because, back then I didn't really have a lot. And so I had no business writing that check. There was no reason for me to write that check. And so my auntie got really mad at me, and we had a really drag out fight regarding that. But through the process of trying to build this church. Now, the first church the first building project that I was in, which was at my home church, which is Kimberly Park Holiness Church there in Winston-Salem. They later did build a church. There is a new church on the property of the old church, and so that actually transpired. And then the Clarence McClendon Building Fund, which never built us anything. We had years. They had years of traveling around, because after the Palladium, I didn't really travel with the church. I didn't go to the tent. I didn't go to what I call the firehouse. Some of these other places that they were traveling around to, I just didn't go. And the reason why I didn't go is because I recognized that Clarence was full of crap, and I wasn't going to be going and following Clarence because he was just pimping us. And at one particular point during Harvest Fire, he had told us we had raised all of this money. And, we was like, oh, you raised this money. And next thing you know, we didn't have no money, and they was traveling all around and doing whatever they did. Now, people like to joke with me about all of the name changes of the church that we had. And yes, we had a significant amount of name changes, but I have to tell you, I have never, ever, ever been in a church or been pastored by any person like Clarence McClendon. I don't believe that Clarence McClendon is a pastor to me, because the Bible clearly says that God will give you shepherds after his own heart. And I'm trying to tell you that man doesn't really care about anybody but himself. Now, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, and I don't care if he don't like it or whatever. But good evening to Sean Talks. Good evening, Sean. Good to have you with us as well. So good to have you with us. Yeah, and I'm so glad to have you guys with us. What did Gerald say? Has even become a bishop yet, or are we still calling him bishop, just asking for a friend? Who came bishop? I believe Marvin has been consecrated a bishop. I do believe I think so. I wasn't, I mean, I don't go looking into all of that. So yeah, I wouldn't even know. But tonight I definitely want to talk about perfecting church, and I want to talk about the fact that they are building this church, and we're going to get into it a little bit more. But I want to know from you guys that are in the chat, how many of you, if you have been in a building fund project at your church before? I want you to type the word me in the chat. Me, M-E. If you've ever been a part of a building project in your ministry or in your church when you were growing up, or really, I don't really want to know about the growing up part. I really want to know as an adult, how many of you have been in a building project before? Somebody type in the chat and let me know you've been in a building project before. I'm going somewhere with this. I want to see something here. So Gerald, I know for a while they called him bishop, and he wasn't. Yeah, he was bishop elect. They were just leaving off the elect part. That was their part. So let me, Angela, were you a part as an adult or a child? What about you, Nicola? Were you a part as an adult or a child? Sean, you too. Adult or a child? I want to know. Kathy, Denise, all of you guys, let me know if you were adult or a child when you were a part. Now, I'm sure some of you were when you were kids, and your mom and them growing up, you was in there in that never ending building fund. But I want to know, as an adult, were you ever, were you in there as an adult? Okay, so Kathy says both. She was a part of both. Oh my God, Irene. Irene says 4 times. Oh my God. Was this Irene, was this the same church? I just want to know. Was this like multiple churches? Like, what happened, Irene? Oh, that's hilarious to me. Hang on, let me turn on this light above my head. Oh God. And y'all see I got my avatar in there now. Oh man. I gotta turn on this silly light. I hope it stay on. I don't know. I don't even know if this light gonna stay on. But anyway, she said 4 times. Christine says both, different churches. Wow. Okay. Yes, I was a part of a building fund. We did build and we paid it off. Well, that's good news, Gina. Praise the Lord. How many years, Gina, did it take you guys to pay it off? I'm going somewhere. Nicola says, yes, as an adult, We never built it. The pastor died. Well, there are people dying that ain't never died before. I'm just saying. Lord have mercy. Bonita says adult. And we built a church. Okay, good. Bonita, did you guys pay it off? Bonita, did you guys pay it off? I would love to know that. Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because Marvin Winans has, for the last, I want to say 15 to 20 years, been trying to build this church. They have raised millions of dollars. They have spent millions of dollars. They have made agreements with their city that they live in the city of Detroit. They have made a lot of agreements. And I'm starting to get the feeling now. Some of you are going to be mad at me for saying this. But today it kind of, just in the fact, good evening, Tasha Global. Good to see you here. And Tasha, I might want to talk. I might have to hit on your Gigi situation here in a minute too, because I watched your video, and Gigi is really, she just done got on my nerves, and I haven't done a video on her because I just refused to. But because I mean, she's just not even worth it. But Marvin, I'm starting to get the opinion. Now, hear me out. The money's funny, and I don't think this is ever going to be built. And the reason why I don't think this is ever going to be built, because over a 20-year span, they have spent millions of dollars. And the only thing that they were able to do was to actually build the construct of this building. And from what I understand, there's a lady in the church who is supposed to be over everything. And this lady is saying that they don't even now have a contractor, but Marvin and them is supposed to be building this whole church and all of this other stuff. And so I'm having a little bit of difficulty understanding how these people are actually going to build this, and which says to me, they've wasted the money. Like, the money is gone. Something is not right with the money. And at this particular stage of the game, I want to talk to you guys about it. I'm going to show you some stuff. Perfecting church. Hold on. Let me go here. Let me see. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you guys this video first. Open this link in a new tab. Okay. So for those of you that are thinking I'm making this up, that these people have been, that this church has been built, I'm going to take you back and I'm going to bring you forward. Okay. And so let's talk about this, and let me bring some stuff up on the screen, and I want to share a couple of things with you. So don't think I'm making this up. So we're not making this up. All right. So we got our audio on. I'm going to show this on the screen, and let's watch this video, and for just a second. And it's only about a 4 minutes video. But something about this seems very odd to me, because I've been in building projects before, and I also know, I've been in a project where something was built, and I've also been in a project where something was never built. And this whole shell of a building that they put up is now starting, to cause me a great level of pause, because something seems off here. But let me just share this with you, and I'll come back and I'll give you the rest of my commentary there. But let's watch this.
Tonight, we wanted to get to the latest on the controversy surrounding a new megachurch that's been in the making for nearly 20 years.
We covered the announcement of Pastor Marvin Winans' dream to build the new church. Now a lawsuit by the city and a countersuit by the church is leading to a showdown in court.
7 Action News anchor Carolyn Clifford takes us to Detroit for a special look inside the unfinished building and talks with city leaders about what they want to see done.
You've likely seen the new Perfecting Church at Woodward and 7 Mile. It is massive, 35,000 square feet, and sits on 16 acres of land.
35,000 square feet, sits on 16 acres of land. So understand something. This building is enormous. This building is enormous, okay? Enormous.
Bishop Marvin Winans granted us an exclusive tour.
This is your neighborhood, where you grew up.
This is where I grew up.
The renderings of this 4,200-seat sanctuary, spectacular.
So when we walk up here, these are going to be
There's going to be
seats, a gorgeous winding staircase,
And the whole space will be flooded with light from stained glass.
a chapel for weddings, and a 1,000-seat banquet space.
So this is all structural steel.
Now understand something. God help me. They have a wedding. They're going to put a wedding chapel in here. They got a spiral staircase. I mean, they've got it. Some great plans for this shell of a building. But the interesting thing is the building has never, the shell of the building is up. And now we are 20 years later, and this building is, this stuff is still not built. Okay. And so I want you to understand, even though they're saying all of this, they've had some hills and some valleys when it comes to this.
We're told the core is complete. Electrical, heating, underground plumbing, gas lines for the kitchen,
We've run sprinkler systems.
and the ceiling fully coated with flame retardants.
It is solid. There's no rainwater coming in. It is a sound structure.
The price tag so far, $20 million, all paid in full by the church.
Now stop. I want you to understand something. So far, based on what they're saying, just what we've seen here, they spent $1 million per year for this building project. Calm down, Marcellus, because you can't be laughing at the pastor. I'm sorry, but this is hilarious to me. So they spent about $1 million a year, just if we average it out. But they spent $20 million on this building so far. Okay, I want y'all to understand something. $20 million, and they have not had one worship service in this building at all. $20 million. Now, I don't know about you, but I know one thing. If I and my fellow members of the church had spent $20 million on a building, and it has been 20 years of us trying to get this building built, I would be furious, and I would be speaking to the leadership, and I would be speaking to everybody, and I would be causing quite a ruckus in trying to figure out where our money has gone. I'm sorry, there is no way in God's green earth in Detroit you're going to tell me that you have erected a $20 million facility and you guys do not have enough funds to complete your project. Because here's my thing. Then what in the world have you guys been doing for the last, maybe I'll say 10 years, because you started this project over 20 years ago. So for the last 10 years, what have you been putting away, or where is the money that has been put away to finish this project? That you just can't tell me that you have, where is the money? Where is the money? I'm sorry. I done tickled myself. Where is the money? This makes no sense whatsoever. And who in my chat is sitting up talking about some allegedly? Allegedly what? Allegedly what? Gina, see, allegedly what? Ain't no alleged. They've been building this for they put on the news. They walked through the building. What are we alleging? They said they spent $20 million. What are we alleging? I don't know. You got to tell me, Gina, what are we alleging? Because my $20 million is a lot of money. I'm just saying. It's a lot of money. And they still have not built a single thing yet. I'm just saying.
All of the underground work for this facility is done.
But it's been 2 decades, and according to the city, no building permits have been pulled since 2018.
So get this, understand something. The news said it's been 2 decades, okay? It's been 2 decades. If it's 2 decades, what are you all doing? Just because you put the underground plumbing and you got fire retarded stuff or whatever, what? It doesn't matter to me. Something is wrong with this building project, and something is funny with the money. And somebody needs to explain to me why it is taking you guys 2 decades to build this building. Now, did you guys not have a plan from the start as far as starting and finishing this project? Because in my mind, even if you gave yourself 10 years, and the reason why I'm talking like this is because I've been on the other side of this. And so I'm trying to figure out, okay, now wait a minute. When you all sat down to determine how you were going to build and when you were going to build and how long it was going to take you to build, you guys had to have an end date, and you had to have certain goals and metrics that you needed to meet at certain points. This is how you have a building project. You just don't start a building project with the end not in mind. You have to have the end in mind from the beginning. And I'm confused as to why you guys do not have this stuff in its proper alignment, in its proper place. I just don't understand it. I really don't. And it's troublesome to me because when I was talking to my friend earlier about this building, I said, well, the structure is built. And my friend was like, well, wait a minute. If the structure is built, why don't they have a specific number to complete the inside of the building? Now, here's my other thing. From what I heard from another vlogger, don't know if it's true or not, the other vlogger said you guys don't even have a contractor to finish the inside of this building. And if that is true, something's off here, ladies and gentlemen. Something's off.
Attorney David Jones is the lead counsel for Perfecting Church.
Tell me the biggest obstacles.
There was some financing that was lined up. Local banks, they had signed up and they pulled out.
Now the city is suing. Lead corporation counsel Conrad Mallett says Detroit requested a building status report from a certified structural engineer stating the building is, in fact, in good shape. There was no answer by the February deadline.
Why the crackdown on Perfecting Church now?
Because really, I just became the corporation counsel. Blight is something that has plagued the city of Detroit for decades.
Counsel for Perfecting Church argues there is no blight, no broken windows, no graffiti.
This is the entry.
And 24-hour round-the-clock security.
What is the city demanding from Pastor Winans and the church?
Okay, so now I want you guys to also understand, for these 20 years, I'm going to assume in order for them not to have busted out windows and homeless people going over there trying to set up shop, they have had 24-hour security on this property, which is also another expense. So somebody's being paid to survey and to ensure the fact that this building is not getting any structural damage or nobody's going over there and harming this building. Let me read what you guys are saying. I'm gonna read your comments now. I'm gonna pause for a moment and read your comments. Irene says, my goodness, $20 million on an empty structure. Irene, don't make me laugh. Stop. How many affordable housing structures could have been built? Rent could have been paid. The rent could have been paid that off. Good point. Good point. That's why I don't think they have a plan. I don't know how they're operating. I don't know. Well, you know what? That's a good question. But man, this is something. This is something. Moni No Love says, show me the money. I know. I think it's pure mismanagement. Me personally, just being me, I think it's pure mismanagement. It is pure mismanagement. And Irene, definitely a great question. Show me the money. Yes, show me the money in my Jerry Maguire voice. Yeah, something is off. Yeah, something is off. Yeah, this is insanity. This is insanity. This is insanity. Okay, I'm going down. Adult and we built. Adult, okay, real estate, 25 years. Gina says 25 years. Twice. What does this says? Twice. It was the same church and it was a money pit, so I left. The other two were successful. Wow. Okay. My goodness. Good evening, everybody. I was a part of one at my church. The building is close to 30 years old now and has been paid off for at least 10. Wow, good for your pastor. That means they had, that means they had a plan. They had a plan. They had a plan. I'm just saying, they had a plan. Wait a minute. Somebody said, Alicia married, my son was born, graduated from college, and got his own house, and Marvin still ain't. Oh my God. I'm going to give you a plan in a minute, Marvin. I'm going to give y'all a plan. I'm going to give y'all a plan. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you how churches are built. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Now, Marvin is kind of sick right now, so he can't do it. What I normally would suggest. Yeah, it would be beautiful if they finished it. If I think it's going to be beautiful if they finish it. Yeah, that would somebody need to be overseeing it. Now, here's the question, and I want you to stick a pin here, blessed lady. I don't think so. And I'm going to show you in a minute why I don't think so. And I'm going to show you why I don't think this is ever going to be full, or I don't think this is going to be built. And it's a shame and a sin to say it, but I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. If they build it, they better get a strategic plan together, and they better get some more financing. Okay, because from what I'm seeing right now, no. 20 years. 20 years. This has been a 20-year project. $20-year. Yeah, well, they need to have a project schedule. I agree. And they also need to have a project planner, somebody who's on staff, whose sole job is to focus on this project and to meet their metrics, their financial goals, so that they can report to the church what's being raised, what steps and stages are they taking, and what they're doing. I don't understand why this isn't done. I should do one. Where is the money? Okay. Let me finish this video before I get into my other statement. Yeah, I'm gonna stop for now. Let's finish this part, and then we'll get into the other part.
They're actually to come in, appoint a receiver, and seize the property. That's a taking, and there's absolutely no justification.
They have spent $20 million. They have spent $20 million. They have spent $20 million. According to this video, they have spent $20 million. I'm just saying.
Mallett claims the city does not want the property.
What we want is a responsible plan and backed up by financial evidence that the building can be completed.
Mallett said,
did you hear what he said? What we want is a financial plan to be backed up with evidence to show that they are going to build this church. First of all, Marvin and church, y'all need to have a meeting about the plan. I know y'all think I'm just being messy here, but I swear I'm trying to be helpful. I don't understand why you guys don't have the proper plan in place. And you can't have the proper plan because you haven't finished this project. And you guys need to have certain project dates and certain metrics dates so that you are meeting the expectations and the goals, so that you know that you will be able to have this church completed by a certain date. Okay. And as a church and as a group of people, then you guys need to make sure that you guys are meeting the financial goals, and you can tell when you've met those financial goals. Yes, I'll drop a link later, Ebony. I absolutely will. And shout out to Ebony for your $1.99 support. And the rest of y'all can most certainly support the channel. I need at least 4 of you guys today to send at least $12, but I need at least 4. We're going to keep on budget for the month. But I need at least 4 of y'all to do that. And the Cash App information is in the description of the video, and the moderators will put it in the chat. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I've got 307 of y'all watching me right now. Please hang on, because I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to show you something in a minute. Okay. Here we go. I hate doing this.
He's hoping the judge will appoint a receiver, and if Perfecting cannot finish the church in a reasonable time period, it should be sold, with the proceeds going back to Perfecting Church. Counsel for Perfecting says they are close to getting the financial backing they need.
Once you secure that $20 million, how long it will take?
About 18 months.
Meantime, the church has filed a countersuit against the city.
We're going to ask the judge to very quickly assess the property, perhaps even take a tour like you're doing today, and determine, and so she can see for herself this is not a public nuisance.
Mallett says the city wants to see signed contracts with the architects and contractor and their certification.
Boy, they got some beautiful plans drawn up. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this mock-up. Look at all those seats. I want y'all to take a look at all these seats. Pay attention to all these seats. I want y'all to look at all these seats.
These are basic requests, and we are the city of Detroit, and the city of Detroit has a right to that information. And we've asked for it politely, and we've asked for it more than once.
Perfecting Church.
Marvin, they done said they asked for it politely, and they done asked for more than once, and you didn't get in what they needed. And Marvin, I'm trying to tell y'all, something is off here. Something is off here. And now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now let's scroll up. This video is from 1 year ago. This video is from 1 year ago. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing for now. Let me pull up another video. And this one's only gonna be about this one will be about a year ago as well. Now this one's only about 2 minutes. Let's go to this one. And I'm making a point here before I get to my other point. I promise y'all. Let's go back. Let's go back. Now this is that I think that was local. That was the local 7 news. Now I want to bring you over to Channel 4. Channel 4 is also reported on this as well. They did a 2-minute little report, and here's Channel 4's. Oh wait, y'all can't even see it. I'm playing it, and I thought I had it up on the screen. I'm sorry. Let's bring this up. This Channel 4 news. Pay attention.
So, is it blight or a construction site? Tonight, Perfecting Church is firing back at a lawsuit from the city of Detroit, claiming this unfinished church is nothing more than an eyesore. Now, that massive church at 7 Mile and Woodward has sat unfinished for close to 20 years now.
So it's prompted the city to file a lawsuit.
It's the way the ladies say, for close to 20 years now. That just tickled me.
But now the church and its leader, Pastor Marvin Winans, are firing back. Business editor Rod Maloney live on this story for us. Rod, they claim they've spent a lot of money to restart construction.
That's right, they did. The lengthy legal proceedings here, the filings tell us essentially that yes, they have tried to start getting construction done on here, restart the construction. But more than anything, they're saying it's the city itself that is preventing this building from being completed.
Now they blaming the city. I don't need your music, Marvin. I don't need your music.
Bishop Marvin Winans believes in Detroit's renaissance.
Because the answer has to come out of the church.
And 20 years ago proposed spending $60 million on a 15-acre cathedral complex, including a massive church, an 1,100 vehicle parking deck, and 70 nearby condos. Last month, the city of Detroit sued Perfecting Church after determining this fence-encircled, unfinished building is unsightly blight and is looking to take over the project if it isn't finished soon.
Now look, the city is like, we done seen enough, we done heard enough. You ain't submitted the proper paperwork. We've asked you nicely. You haven't completed this, and this is a whole mess. Shout out to K-Lock. Thank you so very much for your support, K-Lock. I really do appreciate your support. Now let me go on and get to the real reason why I wanted to show y'all. And I'll drop the link, and then y'all can come up and we can have a conversation about this or about anything you want to see. Hold on. I want to show y'all this. Oh Lord. And don't y'all beat me up for what I'm about to show y'all. All right. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this. All right, Marcellus. Oh, I got to do it. Oh, poor Marvin. What's wrong with Marvin? Okay, here is somebody posted a YouTube short of perfecting church. Now, what you see down here, if you can't see, I don't know if you can see my mouse. You can see the lower deck is got people on it. And if you look up at the balcony and look over to the side, the whole balcony and all of those seats on the side are empty. Okay? It's empty. Now they doing a whole bunch of shouting, whoever this nice man is, him and his son. They're gonna get to doing all this dancing. It's what they do, they dance. That's what folks do in the church. Y'all dancing and they can't finish the project. Now look at the video. If you guys are watching the video and you're looking at the video up in that balcony is empty. Now, I don't care if this was a special event. I don't care if this was just a service, a Wednesday night service. When you're building the type of project that Marvin Winans in this church is trying to build, your Sunday services need to be packed out. You need to have an overflow section. You need to have a section of people where those folks are there, are off to the side. Now, wait a minute. Guess what? Listen, you almost made me curse. I don't care if you can have church. That's what the problem is over there when Marvin Winans is in perfecting church. Y'all having church, but y'all need to sit down and have a financial planning meeting. And then once y'all figure out how y'all gonna buy and pay for this church, then y'all can do all this. When you figure it out, do this. When you come up with the money, do this. My thing is when you figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to pay for this church, then you do all of this dancing. But look at this balcony. Look at this balcony. This balcony is empty, which got me to thinking, ladies and gentlemen, how in the world is Marvin Winans going to pay for this? According to them, they said, and I'm just repeating what they said. They said they were in the process a year ago of getting a $20 million loan to cover and finish this project. We are now a year later, and according to another vlogger, the other vlogger said that he has not even secured a contractor, which says to me, if you don't have a contractor, how are you going to finish the project in a decent amount of time? Ebony J says, love Togan for the collection plate. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Now, let me just tell you, you guys, in all honesty, I don't see them finishing this project, especially with the members that they have. Now, I don't like to just talk about people. I like to try to give you some solutions. Okay. So let me give you some solutions. Marvin, this is going to be some basic stuff here. Basic stuff. And then if y'all want to call me or reach out to me, my email will be down in the description below. If you want some more advice, you can rent me for a couple of hours and I'll be able to give you some virtual advice. Now, here we go. Number one, Marvin, whoever your project manager is, you guys needed to be reporting to the church on a weekly basis on the amount of money that is being raised. Marvin, I don't know how many, somebody help me. Anybody go to this church over there? Anybody go to this church? How many services a Sunday does Marvin have in this building? St. James, do you know how many services they have in this building? Okay, I'm going to make some assumptions here. I'm going to assume that you only do 2 services a Sunday, one 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. service, and then you come back for a night service. Okay, so 2 services a Sunday. I don't know how many members you have, but here's my first set of advice to you. Number one, you need to, I can't even believe I'm giving this away. Let me pause for just a minute. Okay, anyway. Number one, you need to, outside of the regular tithes and offering, there needs to be a place on the offering envelope that says building fund. You need to make sure that those funds go specifically to the building fund, because by law, that's what they're supposed to be going towards. Okay, that's first thing. Well, first of all, you should have been doing, somebody said 225 members. No, he got to have more than that. Now, come on, y'all. Don't do me like that. I'm going to assume that you got a couple of at least 1,500 to 2,000 members. You got to have at least 1,500 to 2,000. Come on, y'all. How many members y'all think he got? Y'all just made me, you just took all the wind out of my sail. Really? I sound like Kim. Really? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is horrible. Y'all just done. Oh man. Y'all done took all the wind out of my sail. I ain't gonna even lie. Y'all done took all the wind out of my sail. Okay. Because I thought I was gonna be able to give him some advice. Okay, if you have a night service, make sure for the next 6 months to 1 year, you guys need to, on top of your tithes and offerings, take an offering just for the building fund. If every single person in the church gives $3 every service toward the building fund, and you do that for 1 whole year. Now, it's for if you ain't got the membership, you all, then this is going to take a very long time. He's running about 12 to 1,300. Let me get my calculator. Okay. Let me get my calculator. I'm assuming it's 1,300. 1,300. Okay. And he's having, and there are 4 services a month. Y'all listen to me. Y'all listen to me. First of all, it's going to depend upon what the contractor has worked out. Why am I doing this for these people? Y'all need to have a meeting. The whole church need to have a meeting, and you need to figure out how much you're going to be willing to deal with this. Okay, I'm going to assume you have 13 members, 1,300 members. Each member at 1,300 members gives $5 a Sunday, because this is how Shirley sees the Word of Calvary churches. This is how stuff was built. Believe it or not, it was built on a small amount of money, but they also didn't erect the building first, and that's your problem. That's your problem. Okay, so let's say you got 1,300 people. 1,300 people times 5, it's going to get you $6,500 per service that you could raise. If you multiply $6,500 times 4, that's going to get you $26,000 a month. There's 12 months in a year. You're going to get $312,000 just from that alone. Okay, just from that alone. Okay, now, in my opinion, you do a conference every year, or you used to do a conference every year. The way that we were able to get a lot of our expenses covered throughout the course of the year was through our conference. You need to designate a certain amount of money for that conference to go specifically to the building fund each year. And I know I'm kind of 20 years behind on this, but it is what it is. That's one aspect of doing it. Also, when you are, if he still does convocation, a portion of convocation has got to go towards the building fund. Now, here's the other thing. If you're traveling and you're preaching, Marvin, a portion of your speaker's fees has got to start going towards the building fund. And if you are being paid an honorarium, you have to have a specific amount of money for your honorarium that you need to take before you go speak. So if you're doing that old school, I'm just going to show up and let you give me whatever you give me as long as you meet a certain minimum, that doesn't work when you're trying to do ministry on this type of a level. You got a mother stacks kind of mentality when it comes to ministry. Like these people putting in the chat talking about sale dinners and even though there was a whole church in Inglewood that was built on chicken dinners and fish dinners. I kid you not. It was Erica and Erica and Mary Mary's church, where the church where they was raised at. They built that whole church on chicken dinners. I'm just saying, they really did, you all. They really truly did. I don't know why this thing is misbehaving. Get the acting right. All right. So that's that. But that's one piece of advice. And y'all can call me and let's look at the project from a larger scale. Because I'm telling you right now, this balcony, I don't see it happening. Now, if y'all go back and look at some of Bishop Patterson's old videos when he was in that old church, Bishop Patterson's balcony was full. The side of the sanctuary was full. All of that stuff was full, and they was rocking on a Sunday morning service. You hear me? Is Marvin on the radio in Detroit? Is he on the radio? Can y'all hear Marvin at night on the radio? On Sundays, does he come on the radio? Is he on local television in y'all local area? Let me go on and drop this link. Somebody need to come up here and explain some stuff to me, because I'm confused. I'm confused as to why this is taking 20 years. We could have got this done in a long time ago. I'm confused. I'm so confused. The link has been dropped, ladies and gentlemen. You are free to come up. Look at the balcony. There's just no way. There's just no way. Irene, I can't take y'all. She talking about just be done already. Where's the shofar? Oh my God. But yeah, I think that's part of the problem too. I think they really do need to get some help here, like some real help. But I don't know if they burned their bridge. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. 20 years? Marvin travels. He preaches. Every time I turn around, he's at West Angeles. He got a conference every year. This should not be happening, which means something is wrong with the money. And I hate to say it, something is wrong. Where is the money? Where is the money? Detroit Ebony, I'm about to bring you up. Let me put on my headphones. God, this is actually heartbreaking. I'm being honest. This is really heartbreaking. I'm gonna take this off the screen. Lord have mercy. This is really sad. All right. You live with the Mad Church Disease podcast.
Hi, Marcellus. I'll try to make it really quick. I'm 45, and I'll just try to give you my little quick perspective.
Okay.
A couple things. I don't think Marvin did a projection for 10 to 20 years, because if he did, the church shouldn't have went up in the first place. What I will say is that I think one of the things that he was banking on was the auto plants. That used to be a really big thing here in the city. My mother's generation, which is a boomer, and the generation before my mother, they were known, it was this thing where they were known for giving $100 a week. That was a pretty common thing. So, but since that time, we've had over 25 auto plants closed in the city.
Okay.
So in the 50s, in the 70s, when my grandmother and my mother were of working age, it was normal for people to give really good money, support the plant. The pastor come to your house, he got the big piece of chicken and all that type of stuff.
Right.
However, that generation has died out.
Right.
So when Marvin went to go build this church, that generation was already aging out. And now my mother's generation, which is 80, the baby boomers,
Right.
they have a little coin left over, but inflation is eating that up.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
I agree.
The second piece of it, when a lot of the plants went away, Detroit is kind of unique because they said for every person who lost a job, 10 jobs are connected to that job.
That's
The
correct.
barber, the restaurant person, the supply chain person, the seatbelt person, and so on and so forth. So I looked it up really quick before I came on the line. You're talking the difference in 30 years, 3.9 million people were here in the city versus 700,000 today.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I don't live in Detroit, and I was on a platform last night talking to another young man who lives in Detroit. Okay, so you're saying that the population of Detroit right now, the city of Detroit, is 700,000 people.
Right.
Okay, now the cities that surround Detroit, what's the closest city that's next to Detroit, and how far is it for you to get there, and how big is that city? I know that's a lot. That's me asking a lot, but if you know, can you tell me?
It's a lot of neighboring small suburbs, East Point, Southfield, Warren, stuff like that. It's a lot of small. I can't think of what the next big major city is.
Okay.
But what I can say is we're all kind of feeling the squeeze of the plant.
Right.
What I will also say too is because so many people worked in the plant, it became a generational thing. So education wasn't pushed either. So you had granddaddy, daddy, the son. A lot of people just worked at the plant. Now, you did have some people who did go off to college. I don't want to make it seem like some people didn't, but for the most part, it was an automotive city. So now, if you didn't do any transition and do anything with your skills, a lot of people are just stuck. And so another thing too, the city also went through a bankruptcy about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. The city took a big hit that way. I think another thing that Marvin needs to acknowledge, and people don't want to say it out loud, I think it was his nephew. He had a really big scandal here in the church where he was scamming his nephew was scamming people in the church.
Oh,
It
I
was like
remember that.
it was like a $8 or $10 million hit. So there was a lot of
Oh,
confidence.
I do remember that.
There was a lot of confidence that was lost. So you're talking about a perfect storm. So that's just, I mean, there could be some other components, and I don't see the point at this point of finishing that Ephesus that you say,
Right.
because we already have other big churches, Greater Grace. They're not filling out those churches either.
I know.
They're subleasing them or whatever. We just don't have enough bodies to put in those churches, and the people that are left over, I'm in the social services arena, those people cannot afford those that generation that's left over, they're not going to church like that.
Right. Well,
So
my thing is this. Let me ask you this, Ebony. He's already spent $20 million. Like I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, you done spend $20 million. If the city takes this over, or you sell this building, you're not going to get the $20 million that you done put into it. That's the first thing. They're probably not going to turn this in. It's not going to be a church. They're going to level this building. And then if you own the land, well, first of all, you won't own the land anymore because you're going to sell it. So this is just going to be a total loss for the church. The only thing that's going to be coming back to them is a little bit of the $20 million that they've already spent. And that was a year ago that they came up with that figure. I'm thinking that it's probably going to be more money that they've spent because they've had to keep this building up. And I appreciate every single thing that you said, because I think that it brings a lot of perspective to it. First of all, if you got a city of only 700,000 people in the city, and you, like you said, and you reminded me, you got Greater Grace. Greater Grace is another mega church, and then you got some of these other preachers that are in there in Detroit.
the Clark sisters, they can't fill that church up.
Yeah.
So it really gives you a good idea of what is going on. And then COVID,
Mm.
that didn't help either, because now people are ministering at home.
Yeah, but the funny thing is though, everybody's lost all this money, and
Yeah.
all this money is gone. And I'm gonna tell you before you go, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you. But all the money's gone. And see, this is why people at church used to be so mad at me. Because everybody's at church. All the money's gone, and this is what they doing. This is what everybody doing.
So I hear what you're saying, but if you finish it and you put another 20 million into it, then what do you do with it?
Yeah, they're gonna be doing all of that dancing too. But let me just tell you, well, back in the day when I was assisting and our pastoring and helping out, I remember coming up to the pulpit one Sunday when we didn't raise enough money and we had enough money to pay all the bills. You know what I told them, folk? There will be no more dancing until these bills get paid. You wearing out the carpet, the water bill got to be paid, everything has to be paid. Ain't gonna be no more dancing. We're gonna cut out all this dancing. There ain't gonna be no more Hammond B3. You're gonna stop all of that until these bills get paid. You need to give up a little bit more money in order for us to be able to do all this shouting, because shouting takes money. The carpet got to be clean every Sunday. So when all of this dancing and all this stuff being done, somebody has to pay for it. And if that's not the case, if y'all don't want to give up no money, let's just go ahead and close the doors now and go on about our business, because we're not going to be coming up in here in no dirty, smelly church. We're not going to be doing all of that. Y'all got to give an offering. Amen. Bless God. I'm sick of the saints and I'm sick of black people doing all of this dancing. And you can't build the stuff that you need to build. You can't do the stuff that you need to do. Forget all this dancing. Stop the dancing and pay the bills. Stop the dancing and build a church. Don't do no more shouting until the bills get paid and you raise up enough money. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm sick of it. I'm really, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm dead serious.
You know what, Marcellus? Detroit is really a unique place. When I met my husband, it wasn't until I met my husband and he was like, "We need to cut back. We're going to get you a used car." And I said, "Huh? What are you talking about?" And he was like, "A used car." I had no clue. He said, "You don't know what a used car is? You've never had one?" I said, I was really dumbfounded. Because my family worked in the plant and everybody
Mm.
around me, all my family members and cousins and uncles, I was used to getting a brand new car every year. That was our norm. With your A plan, your easy plan, that's just what we did here.
Well, I don't know if you know this, and maybe I had to bring St. James and some other people up here in a minute. Somebody got to tell me, did they get a loan for that first $20 million that they done spent? Or did they use all of their own personal money?
Now that I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's a question that needs to be answered too. Because if they've already gotten one loan for 20 million and they're working on paying back that 20 million, then this is a disaster. Because that means they're never going to build this building. This building is never going to get done.
Now, so let me say this. Now, this is what I think could be the case. Around the time that that church was coming up, what could have been happening now, Kwame Kilpatrick was in office. That was our first young hip hop black mayor. And him and his homeboys was giving out all the good contracts, and they were doing payola and doing a whole bunch of backdoor deals and stuff like that. So at that particular time, Winans may have been able to come up on some extra cash. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that may have been how he was able to get his start, but I'm just speculating.
But I know
And
Ro Mesner, the guy that built the structure that they have now with a lot of the building materials that this structure has now, he gave them he let them buy this stuff at a discount, and he made them special offers and special deals in order for them to build thus far what they built. So I'm confused as to You know what, Marvin? Let me look in this. I want some answers. I want some answers. I want some answers. And the reason why I want some answers now, because this really doesn't make any sense. This whole thing doesn't make any sense now. You done spent 20 million. This is all you built for 20 million. You don't have a $20 million congregation. I'm quite sure that your budget for this church is not that large. You run a convocation every year. Is Marvin on TV?
No.
Get on TV. Do what everybody else do. Get on TV and raise the money and build a darn church. You don't have no wisdom. They don't have no wisdom.
So Marcellus, if you don't mind, I wanted to hop on real quick. I didn't mean to interject. I'm watching the Lions in the playoffs, but I had to hop in on this because for 22 years he's been building this church. So just to add a little bit of history, when he broke ground on the church, I was a freshman in high school. I'm 36 years old, and the church is still not built. That's what we're doing. So there's three things I wanted to bring up. Ebony, Ebony, you said it correctly. He had so many people invest in the church. Oprah gave him a $9 million gift to build on the church. This is 22 years ago. There's no excuse for this. Like, I go to Greater Grace. So
well, just stop. I don't mean to cut you off. If Oprah gave him $9 million, if you subtract 9 million from 20 million, I'm just doing the math. Yeah. I'm just saying the math. Something is off here. I'm sorry. Keep talking. Let me do the math over here.
So I'm a member of Greater Grace, and I said it in the chat. My pastor is an accountant. The first thing that he did is he developed a financial plan and got a financial planner to work in the building of it. It took us about 6 years to just like build up on the foundation and raise the money and all of that. And we got it open in 2002. But just like Ebony said before, we're struggling too, getting people coming in there because of the population decline, which Ebony said, which is 100% correct. But also people after the pandemic, people don't really want to be in church. They want to be indoors in the comfort of their home. So it's a struggle. And then you're dealing with someone who, you said it before, Ebony, has had some problems, some controversies with trust, not just the one with his nephew, but there was another one with Vicky, his ex-wife. People are so upset about that.
Yeah, I forgot
People
about
are
that.
very upset about that.
Well, let's talk alleged. What did Vicky do? Did she drink all? Did she, did she go to Total Wine and drink all the money up? I'm trying to figure out, what did Vicky do?
No, it was just the way that they handled the divorce. It was very messy.
Oh, that's right. So he might have been. He had probably had to give her some money in the divorce. I didn't think about that either.
Correct. And then also,
Lord. The money's gone, y'all. The money's gone. The money's gone.
And Marcellus, you called it out too. That man's ego is just outrageous.
It's huge. Yeah, I know that.
I know that personally. Outrageous. And then the video that you showed a few months back, where he was talking about adding like housing around the church. There's no way that the city of Detroit is going to stand by and let this man build housing on top of a 22-year project. That's going to be 50 years they're going to do the church and the housing. That's 50 years that they're going to be developing that area. And that's the area that's prime real estate, is right next to the Detroit Golf Club, which is one of the like top PGA tour sites. So they're fed up with him. They're fed up with him. And even if he does build it, they have to do so much renovation because that building has been sitting isolated for over a decade.
Wow.
That's an additional $15 million that they have to renovate inside. It's been sitting isolated for a decade.
Through our harsh winters, right?
Yes.
You guys are some of the best callers. You guys are amazing. I love both of you guys. You guys have really made me think. You've really given me a lot to think. And I'm sorry, I have to agree with Southern Breeze. This is a wrap.
Yeah.
There's just been too many things going on over there.
We're still losing 100,000. According to the census, we're still losing 100,000 people per year, and the people that are moving in are the others, and they're moving downtown.
Yeah. And then that area is still such a dilapidated area that they're trying to build gentrification in. And you got this giant ice trail, like I said, right next to this multi-million-dollar golf course that's bringing in all this money. Of course, the city's going to be upset.
Marvin, the question is, will you ever finish this building? And the answer is no.
If I was in the municipality office, I would have claimed eminent domain 5 years ago and just say, like, cut your losses. This is our
Yeah.
property. We're tearing it down and building it from the ground up.
Yeah, and but you know what? He's in jeopardy of that, because one of my friends is the first Black city planning commissioner for the city that I live in, right?
Mhm.
And I sit on the board of one of his organizations, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. This would have been over and done with. I'm just here to tell y'all, this would have been over and done with. I don't understand how he's getting away with this.
It's because of his name. It's because of the respect that he has in the community as being a gospel artist and minister. That is the reason. If it was anybody else, if it was Joe Blow, they would be calling eminent domain. They'd probably be suing him for back property taxes on top of that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to start watching Marvin's services on Sunday and see, does he speak to the congregation in regards to what money has been raised, what the balance is on the money that they have raised. I mean, are they getting weekly updates? How is the church to trust Marvin? Before I ask this question, when all my New Year's Eve services, I used to go to Hollywood Presbyterian Church down in Los Angeles. I used to love to go up to the Presbyterian and worship with the white folks during New Year's Eve. First of all, because they didn't keep you for 30,000 hours and I could get in and get out. But one thing I noticed about the white folks in the white church, on the bulletin board, just like Bishop Blake, they told you how much money they raised last week. They told you what the yearly goal was and that they needed to raise in order to pay people's salary and do all of this stuff. I just don't understand why we just keep funneling money to preachers and pastors who have no accountability. And then you run into situations like this. And then when people like me start talking, people say, oh, well, you shouldn't be talking about them. This is crazy. Like if this was a regular business and not a church, someone would be in jail. They
Absolutely.
would be, you know what? They would be like, now, wait a minute. You don't spend 20 million. You don't spend $20 million.
Marcellus, can I address just one of the comments real quick? Miss
Absolutely.
Shard, I just want to say you made a comment about the train station. So I want to just say you're correct. They did renovate the train station. It was a big undertaking in Detroit. But that's coming from the Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company took that on. They did renovate it. They're moving their headquarters from Dearborn, Michigan to downtown Detroit, and they are downsizing. Another issue that the churches have that wasn't in place just 5 years ago, there's been a new green effort that now applies to commercial spaces, which affect the churches now. So now they have to have these green spaces, or there's new taxes for water runoff. Even with just small churches, if they don't have these green spaces, it can cost them up to $5,000 for the smaller churches. So even if they were to go forward with this new perfecting church, you're talking about a whole nother set of issues that perfecting church would just have to, they would have to what they said, bring current.
Mhm.
There's just a lot that has happened in 2 decades since he
Right.
started this. They need to just sell the bricks, sign the bricks, and sell them like they would Joe Louis Arena, and just move on. Some things you just have to call a loss. They made a bad business
Ooh,
decision.
yeah. I'm gonna have to, yeah, go ahead,
And,
Dale.
and I was also going to add, Ebony, you right about the train station, but that was a private
Right.
business. I
Right.
think,
Ford.
Bill Ford, the Ford family invested $1 billion in renovating that area altogether. So no public money came in the building of that. With,
Wow.
yeah.
The
So
Ford,
with
the Ford Motor Company, the people spent $1 billion.
one person, Bill Ford, spent $1 billion renovating the train station,
My
and
God,
that was sitting isolated for 37 years.
and we can't get this Negro to finish this church. This is hilarious. I don't really understand it. Now, whoever this is, Kelly, I did show a video, and I've talked about the video a little bit earlier. I showed another video, so you might want to go back and watch that.
All right, guys,
When you
I
return.
gotta hop off to watch this game. Pray for our Lions so we can get to
All
the
right.
Super Bowl.
No, I ain't praying for no Lions. Y'all do the best you can. That's all you're gonna get from me. All right. Thank you, Daryl. I
All
appreciate you
right.
coming
Thank
up.
you, Marcellus, for letting me talk. I hope
You're
I tried to give as good of a perspective as I could, but
listen
the
here,
auto
Ebony.
plants
You
is
did a
a
great
big,
job.
big part. It's all of those people dying off and losing over 1 million jobs. It's been a big deal just in the Michigan area. It's been a really, really big deal.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, and I didn't think I was going to say this by starting the video. Marvin, y'all need to hang it up. Hang this up. Hang this up. Because there's too many factors that are contributing to the fact that
Yeah.
you guys don't know what you're doing. And you don't really have the business acumen to finish this. These callers have really brought a great amount of perspective, even more for me with this. You better hang it up, Marvin, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you better hang it up for you go to jail, because I'm gonna tell you something ain't right with the money. No, I'm being honest. Listen here, when I get this kind of feeling and when all my spiritualizations start working, I go, wait a minute, somebody's messing with the money. And whether somebody has stolen money from the church and the congregation, Marvin, and you just embarrassed about it, or you don't want to come out and talk about it, y'all need to shut this down. Just quietly sell the stuff back to the city, take whatever you're going to get from the city, cut your losses, and move on. That's it for me. That's all I got right there. That's it. And anybody else, if you guys have anything else that you want to add to this, y'all can definitely come up and give your thoughts on it. But I'm telling you right now, I don't understand this. And what you guys have said has clearly made this so clear for me. They done spent $20 million. People leaving the city. The people don't make as much money as they used to make before. He's gone through the divorce. His nephew stole all the money. Now that when I had totally forgot about that, but now that when you said that, that really reminded me of everything. He stole the money and then went to jail. I do remember that. And listen here, gone, Cleophas, shut this down. Cut your losses and move on. I appreciate you, Ebony.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
You're so welcome. All right. C, I got you up on the screen. What's up, C? I don't know if you're on mute, C. But you're on the screen, C. What's going on?
Hello?
Yes, hello, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
So I don't know why mine is coming up as C. It should be something else, but I wanted to add, you were asking about if he has business meetings. I'm closely connected to one of the members at the church. And they've been a member there for a long time. He has business meetings all of the time. For members only. And of course, those aren't recorded. Those aren't,
right.
Anything like that. But do I think he does not have the big business acumen to continue the project? No. Do I think the project will get done? Yes, I do.
Okay. And what makes you think that the project will get done?
Well, if we're honest, and I don't want to make it spiritual. I'm not a spiritual person, but he said God told him, right? And I know that you're saying, as scripturally, God didn't tell man to do anything, right?
No, that ain't what I said. I want to be very clear so Marvin understands what I said. Marvin in his video, and I can pull the video up and play it again in another time. Marvin said God told him to build him a house. That's what Marvin said. And I said God did not tell Marvin to do that, because God has already told us he does not dwell in temples made by hand. If you want to build a church, I'm fine with you building a church, but don't say God said he told you to build him a house, because God does not live in a house. He don't need no house. And the house that God lives in is you and me. I'm just saying. But go ahead. I'm sorry. That infuriates me when they lie.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with what you're saying.
I know.
Go ahead. Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think that I don't see it not happening.
Okay. Now, what makes you have such confidence in that? We're
I
talking.
don't have confidence. Like I don't have confidence. I have confidence. We don't know the reasoning of why this project is happening. Like we don't know the spiritual roots of it. We don't know.
Right.
Like I don't know. You don't know. We really don't know.
Well, I
And we
get
don't know
that.
what's going to happen in this world. We don't know what's going to happen,
Okay.
5 years from now,
Okay. But
I don't know.
okay, but I'm saying what I'm asking you, because you said that you believe it was going to be built. I'm saying to you, and I'm asking you, what do you think and why do you think it would be built based upon intellect and based upon what we've seen? And you understand that his church is not full now. He done
Yeah.
spent $20 million. He done
Oh
gone
yeah.
through all of this stuff.
Mhm.
What in your and forget about what he said, but just in what you've seen talking to this other member and being close with that other member, what makes you have such confidence in the fact that this church is going to be built? That's all I'm asking.
Intellectually, I don't think it's going to be built. Now, by faith, yes, I do think it's going to be built.
Oh well, by faith, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of money in a couple months, and we I'm hoping. But
Right.
no, I'm only joking. But no, I'm sorry, Gerald. Go ahead. You on the screen, Gerald. Go ahead, Gerald.
Yeah, hey, my friend. So
Hey,
the question that I got. Now, everywhere in the Bible, you teach when somebody was told to do a work, God basically gave them a whole plan out on how to do it. Correct.
correct.
So now, Marcellus, if he didn't did this for 20 years, I think it's half ego and half just to have a legacy. A lot of times, I hate to say this, but a lot of preachers they want to have their name and have their legacy put down in the dirt so they can say, "Look at me." I don't think God told him to do it. I don't because it when it took 20 years, and especially with the economy. I don't care if you saying the economy's messed up altogether. God will have already accounted for all that because he's all wise and all knowing. This is more so about Marvin. This ain't about building the church for God. This is about him having his name. And that's really what I feel.
And I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'm somewhat leaning in that. I understand Marvin wants to leave a legacy, and I get that, and I do believe that he wants to, have a legacy left behind. But I don't believe that this structure. Here's the thing, Marvin. I suggest, and to the people at the church, I suggest y'all shut this down, stop this project. Sell this stuff back, take the money, invest it in those homes that you guys wanted to build for low income people and stuff like that. Let that be your legacy. You don't want to be the pastor in Detroit that is remembered for having this monstrosity up and forcing the city to come back and declare eminent domain and taking your building and all of the money that you guys have invested in this project. Now, I'm telling you, I don't see in the next 5 years. I honestly, this is going to come to a close really soon. There's going to be something that's going to happen in this situation to close this out really soon, because the city of Detroit, as depressed as it is, and just based on what we've heard some of the callers say, they are not going to allow Marvin to continue to do this. But listen, Singing Queen says the music is his legacy. Well, not so, ma'am, because he's just not a singer. He's also a pastor. Yeah, we're going to remember Marvin for singing, but guess what's going to be attached to Marvin's name? This building and the city having to come back and declare eminent domain and take his building. Don't do it. Stop now. Y'all reassess your stuff, figure out what you want to do, and get a plan. Because from what I'm looking at, y'all don't have no plan. You guys done had 20 years and ain't nothing come to pass except the shell of the building. And then when the city get mad, then you come back and you say, well, we're trying to secure financing. And then you say, oh, well, we're going to take the people through the city, through the building to show them that the building's not an eyesore. Forget all of that. That's just semantics. That's just to me, wasting time and saving time because you don't have what's necessary to complete this project. You know what I'm saying? Finish the project. And if you guys don't have the project managers and the people that know what they're doing, call GE Patterson's people. Find out who GE Patterson used. Go use some other people. Lower your pride, lower what you're doing. Call some other people. Call the Bonner fella down there in Atlanta, the rich fella. I forget his name. Pastor Bonner down there is a smart man. Call Pastor Bonner and ask for some help. You cannot tell me You cannot tell me that this is God's will for the city of Detroit and for the members of Perfecting Church, Faith Church. You cannot tell me that. Period. This is not God's will. It's
And
not God's will.
Marcel, Marcel is the other problem. The other thing is, I think he's retelling that lie because you notice he's been sick a lot lately, and I think that's pressure. That's pressure of trying to figure things out. I don't
Yeah, so
believe
that's not
that's
him
just
being sick. He actually has cancer and he's going through chemo. He's not
Yes.
just sick.
Yeah, yes, he is sick. He is going through chemo, and I do know that. And my heart goes out to Marvin as far as that is concerned. At one particular point, Marvin did come out and say God had healed him of the cancer, so we thought he was in remission. But I don't know if the cancer has resurfaced or whatever. But the last time I heard Marvin speak about it, he was saying that he was in remission. But I'm assuming, just based on what I know and how he's been looking lately, he has cancer, and I would like for Marvin to be able to go somewhere and get some rest. And somebody needs to take this project over. Marvin doesn't need to have the stress of this project. Marvin doesn't need to be involved with this project. Marvin just needs to have someone who is has the acumen to do this and to handle this and to take care of this, and only report back to the pastor as far as what the progress is. I don't know. When I was in the institution like that, that's how we handle the projects for our pastors and our leaders. We didn't have them all involved every time in the meetings. We had a project planner and a project person who reported back to the church. They gave us the amount of money we raised. They told us, because when you don't have a separate person that's handling the project, the money gets funny and people start dipping and dabbing and touching stuff they ain't got no business touching. Stuff has to be separated. And this is part of the problem. And I don't see this being built in the next 5 years. I really don't. I'm sorry to say it. When I'm looking at this balcony empty and I'm looking at this stuff and he don't have that kind of membership, and just based on what these callers have said to us, we are not crazy. We're not being mean. We're just trying to tell you guys you need to go in a different direction. This is ridiculous and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to you guys. It's embarrassing to the body of Christ. It's just embarrassing. You got the city officials coming out there telling you guys that what you're doing is, you're not reporting the stuff properly. You're not giving them the proper information that they need. And you guys coming back and suing them and saying, no, it's just a worthless lawsuit. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Do what you need to do. Fix this situation, and I will be back. I will be reporting on it again, because I did this 10 years ago. I think I'm going to be talking about this again until you guys build this church, until you get a plan together. And why all the secretive stuff? Why is it just to the members of the church? Why? You working with
Well, from what I know, I don't know, from what I know, it's, how secretive churches are, like how they can be, like the culture of
Right.
church is very, very secretive.
Right.
So I think it's just for the members only, and shout out to the members because they do keep it a secret. Do I think that they should? No. But it's just, I think it's just, church culture, to keep things, a secret and what's really going on. So
somebody said, it seems like all of this started without a significant capital campaign. Even if the project is completed, their next battle will be paying it back or trying to keep it. And that small congregation to have that makes me think of, I believe it's Matthew chapter either 13 or 14, where Jesus is talking. And I was just telling this to my moderators and some people earlier. The Bible says,
all
right, the Bible says that these men will constantly and consistently keep putting burdens on the people of God that they themselves would not handle and they would not carry. This is a burden on the people of God in Detroit. It is a burden. And I do not believe that this is something that should be done. I think that you guys need to cut your losses and move on, because this is crazy. I got almost 400 of you guys in the chat. I need to get to at least 250 likes. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Now, see, I know you said your name is coming up improper. Would you like to tell me your name so I'll know who I'm talking to? Who am I talking to?
C is fine at this point.
Oh, you say C is fine at this point. Okay.
C is fine at
Okay,
this
because
point.
you incognito. You incognito. Okay, I'll take
Correct.
that.
Correct. But I do, I ride past the church, both the churches almost every day. And behind the church, that is the east side of Detroit, which is known to be a very dilapidated type of, side of Detroit. I grew up on the east side. Yeah, so it's it's pretty bad over there. Now the opposite side is where the graveyard is, and the graveyard is where his father is buried, his brother is buried, Aretha Franklin is buried. A lot of legends and dignitaries are over there, and in that area a lot of city officials, judges, lawyers on that side of Woodward is actually very prominent and very beautiful. So he's right on the cusp of Woodward and 7 Mile.
So let me ask you a question. So do you think that area is going to be, is he hoping that it will be revitalized? And the reason why I'm asking the question is because the video I did years ago, I actually had drone footage of the surrounding area. Okay. And it looked like Altadena, California. Some of the building, the trees looked like they had been burned. Some of the buildings was a shell of a building, and I'm just thinking, like, why is he building in this dilapidated area? And although you're telling me what you're saying, my thing is have the city given you guys any sort of notification that they're going to be revitalizing the area, or he was hoping that the area was going to?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that his intentions were to. He bought up a great deal of property behind all of that, and he was going to build up houses and things like that. Now, that was his intention. Now, I'm going to say this. He started building that church when I was 18. I'm 41, right? When I was 18 and I'm 41. And the original plan was he was not going to do that. That was not the original plan. He was going to build a church. Later, it came about he was going to have new housing and all that. That came on later on. But when he first started building the church, that was not the conversation. That was not the conversation initially. And then somehow his intention kind of switched up, and we're going to build up, the church and housing around the church and all that. So
yeah, well, I'm gonna just tell you right now.
Oh, and I have no problem with telling my name, because this Nicola person, my name is Joy, like happy.
Don't worry about it. You ain't gotta tell your name.
Right. Right. It's just weird to me. Like,
no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine with you keeping your name to yourself. That's
right.
fine.
Right.
Don't worry about it. But because I appreciate you guys coming up, and I know your voice, so I know who you are.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know who you are. So so the only thing is, I think that something in this isn't quite copacetic. And I know, because I'm thinking, just knowing you and knowing who you are, I think you're naturally an optimistic person, and because of the nature and the field that you're in, you're an optimistic person, and you've been through a lot, and you've had to be optimistic and stay optimistic. But I think here, this is something's not right.
I agree.
I've been in building projects, and I'm just like, okay, well, okay, I don't want to say too much. I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, I agree. No. Here's the thing. Like, I agree with you 100%. Like, I totally agree with you. I personally feel like he should redirect his plans, right? Like, I really do. Personally, I think I think he just kind of got in over his head, and I think it would probably do something to his pride a little bit for him to say, maybe I messed up, right?
Right.
But I would hope that it's going to work out for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I want it to work out. That's the reason why I'm making the dang video. Of course, we want it to work out, but I'm thinking something's off here, and either they need to be challenged, somebody needs to come in from the outside, and at this point, I hate to say this because I believe in my people. I believe in my people. They need to hire somebody from the outside at this point that could take a look at the church's finances and to do a whole perspectives from everything and look at everything and determine what's coming in, what's going out. They need to do a whole financial perspective on this whole situation because they cannot continue to operate the way they're operating. And it's going to take them a whole nother 20 years to do this. And by that time, the city is going to take the building back. It's going to be a whole bunch of mess. And Marvin is going to be mad. Oh Lord, I done got Bishop Maybach upset. Oh Lord. Yes, sir.
You done got me off my knees. I was in my prayer closet. I had my robe on. I was going back and forth, and I heard a word. I heard a word that I had to come down because Marvin Winans is a part of the fivefold apostolic potentate, and you just ain't gonna undress him like you've been doing in this podcast. Let me explain something. It took God 7 days to build the earth, and it's God. And you want Marvin Winans to build a church in 20 years? I mean, it took,
yeah.
It took 400 plus years for the children of Israel to get up out of slavery. It didn't happen overnight. See, the problem with Negroes in America think everything is fast, like a PPP loan. A PPP loan. You just get it, build it, make it happen. See, this is a test of y'all faith.
Well,
This ain't about Marvin.
Bishop, I think Marvin probably did. And when I did my research, I believe he did get a PPP loan. So so the government helped him out with that part. But here's the thing, sir. We talking 20 years.
Okay, let me take you to the Bible.
Are you expecting another 399 years?
Let me walk you through the scriptures.
Okay,
you
Bishop.
Want to talk about time? I'm going to talk about scriptures.
Well, no, you brought up time, Bishop.
Because time is nothing with God, but he gotta curate time through y'all unbelievers.
Oh, he gotta curate it. Okay.
Okay, look at Ezekiel. Ezekiel 37. This is where we are right now. I'm preaching good. In Ezekiel 37, God said to the prophet, he said, can these stones live? Because everybody, like Marcel, is talking about the stones is dead. The church ain't built. It's raggedy. Ain't got no toilet stools in it. Well, so this is a question for 2025. Can these stones be built?
No,
it's
they
in
cannot.
your Bible.
No,
you're gonna watch it raise up. All you gotta do, everybody that's listening right now to the sound of my voice, is y'all gotta learn to undergird. Touch your neighbor and say undergird. Y'all gotta undergird the man of God. Hold him up. Hide his hind parts.
Bishop,
hide his hind parts.
They've been undergirding him for over 20 years, sir. I need for you to understand something. Here,
wait a minute. Answer this question.
Yes, sir.
Did they not hold up Moses' arms in order for the war? Did they not do that?
No, we're talking about the other.
Oh, damn it, they did. Don't you try to hide and you're gonna make me curse and preach. You know they held up Moses' arms.
Yeah, but we talking about the other M. We talking about Marvin. We're talking about Bishop Maybach, I'm gonna go and let you go because I ain't got the energy to fool with you right now. I'm gonna let.
Because you don't want to hear the word. You don't want to undergird.
No, ain't no undergird.
Marvin Winans is overweight. He got health issues, and y'all supposed to undergird. Instead, you want to just tear down the man to God.
No, well, sir, they did undergird him for over 20 years, sir. They've been giving money every Sunday. What are you talking about undergird? We talking about you talking about Moses, and we talking about Marvin. So you need to figure out which M you want to talk about, Bishop. You keep going from Moses to Marvin. Which one we dealing with?
Well, I know one thing. The Lord just said, y'all about to get tax return, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, the Lord,
you about to get a tax return. You know you need to send that tax return.
Bishop, the Lord just told me to help you and hide you under the rock. You've been hidden. All right, let's move on. The bishop's been hidden. Praise his holy name. Okay. I cannot with Bishop Maybach. I just cannot. Bishop Maybach better go somewhere and sit down now. Marvin, church, I want you guys to come up with a plan, and I want this plan to be made available to the city of Detroit. That becomes public. That becomes public, which means everybody will be able to, have access to understand the plan that you're having. You guys need to come up with a plan. And I'm gonna leave my comments there. I have dropped the link for everybody other than Bishop Maybach. Oh God, I can't take Bishop Maybach. No more again. My spirit is trouble. I need 3 of y'all to bless the Cash App with at least $12. We're down to we need 3 more people to do that, and we've hit our goal for the night. Somebody be a blessing. And then we'll have our total of 4 people, because we're trying to stay within the budget today. So y'all make sure y'all do it. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Praise his holy name. And if you're looking to give to the Cash App is on your screen. That's the Cash App information you should be using in order for you to do that. All right. Now let me go to these comments section. I'm gonna let y'all go, and I promise I ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer. I showed y'all the balcony of his church. It is empty. Based on the comments of our earlier callers, it's causing me a great concern and a great pause. And something's not right here. And I think if they don't hurry up and make a decision, the spotlight's going to be on Perfecting Church even more. And somebody's going to come investigating, and it's not going to be good. And so I'm going to stop my comments here, and I'm going to stop myself from going any further. Y'all need to hurry up and fix this. Fix this now. That's all I'm going to say on that. Ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate you. Shout out to the members. If you have not yet liked this video, please like this video. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We need 2 more people to sew into the show today. $12, and then we are completely done. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so very much. I know Southern Breeze, but this untroubled my spirit. I ain't even gonna front. Because you know what I did earlier when I started talking to my friend earlier today? I said, okay, well, let me go do some research. So then I started doing some research, and then I started going to his videos and started looking in the balcony, and I'm trying to check all the stuff. And I'm just like, they don't even fill up their balcony. How they going to fill up this huge church? Now, I could understand if Marvin and his family had went out on a tour and made a couple $1 million and he put a couple $1 million into that building, and they might have had to have a plan to do that for like 4 or 5 years in order to get the building complete. But now we're talking 20 years. 20 years. You mean to tell me that BBCC, Debbie, all them other Winans, I told y'all that the other day. I said they could have did like a Winans tour, and they could still do a Winans tour and help Marvin pay for this church. This is ridiculous. But I'm gonna be honest with you, my spirit is telling me something. They done mess with the money, and I'm gonna leave it there. That money ain't there no more. The money ain't there. Me sitting up talking about it ain't gonna change nothing, because the money ain't even there. Then consider the cost of electricity, water, and all the other resources to keep that maintained once it's open. Absolutely. Just to flush the toilet is going to cost a lot of money. Can you imagine all them Negroes going up in them and flushing a toilet in a building that size? Yeah, okay. You can tell me what you want. But I got better sense than that. I know better. Oh, I know better. Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. And the one thing about this is, I just don't, y'all keep saying his legacy is going to be this music. No, it's not. To the city of Detroit, his legacy is going to be, his name is going to be tarnished, and they're going to know he was not able to finish this building, and this old dilapidated building. And all these years that all y'all driving by this building, y'all are seeing this building, and you're seeing what's going on. And y'all are seeing that city has not been revitalized. And so, if you in the city of Detroit, first of all, you need to start going to your city planning meetings. You also need to start attending your city council meetings. I need somebody in the city of Detroit to become my eyes and ears. I need you to go to the city the city council meetings and the city planning meetings. I need some information, and maybe I need to call the city planners over there in Detroit, because something is off here. That was over a year ago when they said they didn't have the proper plans. And then when they said they didn't have the proper plans, they went into suing them and going into this back and forth deal. I don't understand, and as a person who has been in this position before, we had a plan. From the get-go, it just looked like you guys never had no plan. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to all of you who have supported the channel on tonight. Did we reach our goal? What is it? Let me see. One. All right. We pretty much unreached our goal. Thank y'all. It's done. The goal's reached. I just want to tell y'all, you can be in prayer for Marvin, first of all, as a person. Second of all, y'all need to be praying for the person whose job it is to handle this building project, because this is crazy. And if I was them, it wouldn't be no more shouting. It wouldn't be no more shouting on Sundays until we figure out a plan. All this dancing, that don't do nothing. If God is in there and God told you that he wanted you to build him a house, God would have made provision for you to build this structure. Marvin said God told him. And I done told y'all, God didn't tell Marvin that. And that's why I said you should not have ever said that, because God never said that. And y'all been doing this for years and years to black people, and God ain't never told you to do that. Thank God Umar Johnson just told y'all to give him the money and help him build a school, because he's been building that now for 20, 30 years himself, I think. It's amazing to me. And then, vloggers and people like us, people get mad at us for having these conversations, but this is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, that money that these church folks have given in order to put this building up has been a waste. They have gotten nothing in return for the money that they have spent. Nothing. They've got nothing spiritually, and they've got nothing else. So you're not going to tell me, and you're not going to play that game, because all of that God's going to do, God's going to meet us, God's gonna. That's what we hear all the time. Listen, can God bless his people spiritually for their giving? Absolutely, because he told us in the word that he would bless us for giving. And we know there is a plan for us to be blessed through the word by giving to others. But this whole crap that you guys are pulling on black people in a depressed area, 700,000 people in the city. And I thank God for Ebony coming up and Daryl coming up and helping me to kind of put a little bit more perspective. Because I tell you, I know so much sometimes when it comes to these church stuff, I be forgetting stuff. I forgot about the nephew done stole all that money. And I forgot about the divorce of Vicky and all of that came all in between. I really did. I knew all of that. And that's his son who stole all that money. Oh my God. And the reason why I know, because I had a friend that went to jail around the same time. Anyway, 1999 from Ebony J. Thank you, Ebony. Jeff Bezos has acquired a good portion of the site in the last 5 years. He is quietly trying to get the rest of the site to expand the rail system, extend M1 North, and expand to the Target and the Amazon distribution. Well, Ebony, I'm gonna tell you like this. He's gonna get this. He's gonna acquire it. Donald Trump's gonna make sure he acquires it. And yeah, you're gonna get it. Yeah. Jeff Bezos is paying Donald Trump and Donald Trump and Melania Trump $48 million for one documentary about Melania. The woman who can't even say her husband's name. Did Donald. You know how she talk. She can't even say his name. Did Donald. That's how she talk. They paying her $48 million for a documentary. Are you serious? And you know why they paying her $48 million for this documentary? Because Michelle Obama and Obama got like $58 million for the deal that they got. And they're trying to, show them up, because the whole thing about Donald Trump has always been to show the Obamas up. That's his whole modus operandi is to show them up. And it ain't even working, because Obamas are respected. And thank God Michelle Obama says she is not going to that inauguration. And I'm telling y'all, on January the 20th, which is the day that we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, I will not be watching no inauguration with that racist. It just will not be happening. I'm just saying. I would not be watching it. Shardy, you're so positive. I appreciate your positivity. You always got a little positive spin, I tell you. I saw that building in person last fall, and it was not dilapidated from what I saw. I love your positivity and your optimism. I don't know. I can't tell you what the other people said. I don't know if it's dilapidated or not. But after 20 years, I would think the building might have a little rust on it. You know what I mean? It's got a little rust. I mean, it ain't in the top tip shape. You know what I'm saying? It's just got a fence around the shell. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, it can't be that good. Somebody said TikTok is gone from the App Store. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you subscribe to me on TikTok, I transferred all of my TikToks to Fanbase. I told y'all I was going to go over to Fanbase. So all my content from TikTok is now on Fanbase. If TikTok does come back, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I'm going to concentrate on TikTok. I'm going to put all of my efforts in the Black-owned app called Fanbase. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get y'all a link for Fanbase. I'm just saying, because I'm already on Fanbase. Well, his son pastors out here. Okay, now. Okay. I didn't mean to keep y'all this long, but do y'all not know they are perfecting churches? Donnie McClurkin, they have their own Reformation. So is the Reformation not sending cash to the mother church? Like the mothership? You know how we operate church denominations and Reformations. Are they not sending no money to Marvin? Because you do know that's how it's supposed to work. Just like in Kojic, Kojic has dues. If you start your own Reformation, you're supposed to be paying dues and supposed to be sending the other, churches are supposed to be sending money to the head church or the mother church, which is perfecting church. I'm just saying, what's going on here? I'm just saying, I'm no dummy. I'm not new to this. I'm true to it. I done told y'all I'm true to it. Now, you're not going to tell me I'm crazy. Now, I know how church works. I know how Reformations work. Now, they should be paying their dues to Marvin, and that should help Marvin be able to accomplish some of the bills that he has at perfecting, and he could just concentrate on and finishing the church. Do y'all not pay dues? Do the evangelists, do the missionaries, do the people do y'all not have no dues over there? Y'all not paying no money over there? Well, maybe that's why the Church of God in Christ is the largest Black denomination in the world, because you guys keep having all these reformations and you don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying, everybody over there with a collar and ain't nobody paying no dues, and everybody sitting in the pulpit laughing and carrying on. Something is off. Something is off. Well, TikTok can be gone. I'm good. I was trying to put my I'm gonna start putting my fan base thing down in the description there, so you guys can come over to fan base. And I'm staying on fan base. I'm not going no more TikTok. I'm not doing threads. I'm not going to be on Twitter. My page is still up on Twitter, on X, but I don't fool with that. I don't fool with it, because I'm not fooling with anything that has anything to do with Elon Musk. Okay, I'm just not, and I'm just telling y'all that right now. And so don't waste y'all time. Nicola say, baby, TikTok is gone. Well, I think they said if you had the app, you could still use it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get in here. They said it'll probably slow down and it won't work for you. It says, oh, here we go. This is what it says, ladies and gentlemen. You saw it here first. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. So the TikTok app is gone. It says a law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. My God from... Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, Heavenly Dove. How we feeling about... Where'd that go? Oh, there she is. How we feeling about Snoop Dogg and Nelly performing at the inauguration? Are we gonna knock Nelly and Snoop Dogg like we did Chrisette Michele and Jennifer Holliday? Y'all remember when Jennifer Holliday went up there and we like banned them and was talking so much stuff and had Jennifer Holiday crying on YouTube and on social media, what we gonna do about that? What we gonna do about Snoop Dogg? Somebody says Threads is actually cool. I don't give a care about no Threads, because I hear they're taking all your private information and sharing it with other people, just like they always do. And I'm so sick of these people. I'm sick of these people. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sick. I'm tired of moving apps too. That's another thing. Every time you turn around, you start building a following on one app, and here something happens, and now you got to put in some more. Somebody say, no, Marcellus, you fine. We ain't got nothing to do. Okay. Because I want to know. What we doing about Snoop Dogg? What we doing? Somebody said, I believe some of the projects. Shardy, I love how positive you are. This is wonderful. I believe some churches from PFI have been supporting this project financially. Well, not enough. I would love to know, how many churches does he have in his Reformation? Because see, we had 100 churches when I was growing up in my organization. We had 100 churches. Okay, that was way back in the day. I know Marvin can build this church, and I know how he can build his church. I hate to say it, and Marvin probably don't want to do it, but Marvin Winans needs to go on television. He really does. How do you think Clarence McClendon and the rest of these preachers got rich? They got rich by going on TV. He don't want to do television, but Marvin should be on TV. He should have been on TV a long time ago, because his budget would have went from, a couple million. He'd have probably had about a $6 or $7 or $8 million budget by now. And I hate to give him I hate to give him advice like that, but because I don't wish most of these preachers go on TV no more, but it is what it is. Yeah, he obviously done changed his opinion about some stuff. It's crazy. Somebody say he is absolutely against going on TV. Okay, and that's why he ain't built this church yet, and that's why they over there struggling. Because let's say he just went on TV for a couple of years. He could have went on TV for a couple of years, built a church, and went back off of TV and never came back on TV. Because trust me, TV makes a difference. I'm just saying. Do you think G.E. Patterson wasn't on there and had them people donating to build that cathedral? Yes, he was, because I remember when he was raising money. I remember that. He should have went on television. Oh, he said the teacher's going to be happy. They're going to bring it back in a couple of days. I'm going to tell y'all, it's coming back. It's coming back. Watch what I tell you. Donald Trump's going to come out and make a big statement on how he brought it back and how he saved it. And he saved millions of jobs through the people that use TikTok and watch. Just watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. That's exactly what he's going to do. All right, I'm going to drop the link. So in case anybody wants to come up and talk to me about anything, you can. I'm frustrated. This done frustrated me. This Marvin Winans situation done pissed me off. I can't even deny it. I cannot even die. Heavenly says, I saw that about an hour ago. My God from Zion. Okay. All right. Well, then you know what, Marvin, you about to be embarrassed in front of the whole wide world. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Oh, thank you, Moni, because I did not know. I couldn't even give him the link to my fan base. I couldn't even give it up. Oh, man. Thank you so much, Moni. I appreciate that. Man, this is something else. This is way something else. Well, it's 8:13 and I haven't even eaten dinner either, so I'm ready to go eat my dinner. Ain't nobody came up. So thank y'all so very much. I got to go get dinner. I'm hungry. God bless y'all. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for spending your time with me here tonight. I know you could have spent your time millions of other places. I appreciate you coming. Shout out to all of the members of the channel. Shout out to all of the subscribers of the channel. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, you can go ahead and subscribe, and you can discover I'm not as mean as people think I am. I'm okay. But I am going to call you on the carpet. I'm just saying that what we saw today is ridiculous, and it makes no sense for what they're doing. And Marvin, you need to get this together, and your project manager, y'all need to come out on your YouTube channel, tell the public what you're doing, what your plans are, just like other preachers who have had huge building projects like this. Maybe somebody might donate more money to you. I'm just saying. Jesus. All right, y'all. I love and appreciate you. And at the end of the day, the question is, Marvin, will you ever build this church? And unfortunately, in my opinion, the answer is no, 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 no. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button, or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.